Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Rebel Creatives Podcast. I'm your host, Delano, and I help creative entrepreneurs increase their revenue using the Rebel Growth System. So, we're on to tip number two, week number two inside of December, the last month of the year. And last week, for tip number one, we talk about, getting things done. And done is better than perfect. So, in this week, I want to talk about better serving the market. The more you know, the better you can serve. All right. So, this is all about doing your research, doing your due diligence to know all about your target audience so that you're able to better serve them. All right. So, to do this, there is about three things that you need to absolutely do. All right. And I'm going to tell you what it is and how we do it. Right. The first one is you want to do a deep dive research. Right. And this is where you get to know intimately about the niche or your target audience, right? You want to ask questions about what's their biggest problem. You want to ask questions about what they're currently using, what are they doing, and stuff like that. You can do a survey, right? And in this survey, doing it, you get to know more about the problems they're facing, how long they're having this problem, what they've done, and how it is affecting them and their business. And with this, you get to know so much more about their needs to then be able to create the perfect solution for their problems because you know their problems so intimately. All right. And once you start getting that information, the next thing, step two, that we like to do is create a methodology Bible. That's what we call it over at Rebel Creatives. And what this is basically an outline of all the problems listed out, all of the possible solutions listed out that you can do to solve those problems that they have, right? And you want to be able to do this in a way where you're using the language that they use with you when they were filling out your initial survey. All right. So the way they described their problems, the way they expressed their goals, their needs, that's the language that you want to use when you're crafting this methodology Bible, because from there you're going to be able to create content using their language, right? So when you send out your emails, whenever you do your ad copies, whenever you do any form of copy, even on your website, you're now better able to use the language that your audience is using. All right. And then the third step, after you have your methodology Bible, after you've done your research, so you know more about your ideal audience, the third step is you want to track everything, right? You want to make sure that you're tracking the engagements, the communications, who is, gravitating to the content that you're writing. And you want to make sure that you're tracking all of that so you know what works, what doesn't, so you can improve on your messaging, all right? But when you do all of this right, what it looks like is that you know so much about your ideal audiences so that you can better reach out to them and you can better serve them, right? Because you know their problems, you know how to solve that problem, that specific problem that they have, and you know how to communicate efficiently the problem that they have and your solution for it, right? So that is step number two. Step number two is all about taking the time to get to know your prospects, your ideal buyers. And when you do this, you really get to a point where you're building genuine relationships with your ideal audience. It's so much easier because you're speaking their language, they're gravitating to you, and you know exactly how to fix their problems. Now, yes, running around in circles, but we're keeping these episodes for the last of the year very short and spicy and to the point. And I just wanted to outline that no matter what kind of business you have, no matter what you're doing, how you serve your prospects and your clients, all of these tips can apply. It doesn't matter the type of business, whether it be online, brick and mortar, or you're doing e-commerce, you're doing service based. It doesn't matter, right? No matter what type of business you need to start doing things. We, as entrepreneurs, we spend a little bit too much time in the planning phase, in the creation phase. And instead of actually getting stuff done, we're there planning and trying to make everything perfect. You achieve perfection through trial and error and failing forward, right? If you wait, you'll never know unless you've tried. And we spend too long planning instead of doing and can't improve. All right. So let's get out of that block for 2023 and start getting stuff done, right? And the next thing that we see holding us back is that we do not know enough, right? And the less we know, the less we can be able to serve and really solve problems. So we need to spend the time to really analyze, and this is why, some will say, why not put that first? Why not do the research first? Again, in the planning phase too much. You want to start doing things with the very limited information that you have, but build upon it, right? So start interacting with people. Don't wait until you have, because they're the ones you're going to get the message from, right? They're the ones that you're going to learn how to communicate from. So we need to start doing our research, putting ourselves out there, asking questions, and listening more so that we can then perfect our offer, perfect our service so that we are delivering better value to the marketplace. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. You're taking these tips. We're making notes of these things so that when we start 2023, we're starting it on the best foot. So we have 2 more weeks left in December of podcast episodes to go out. Can't wait to share those extra tips and hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Delano signing out.